Hi, I'm Brian. This is my dad. We're Wayfinder BBQ.
And today we're making butter of the gods.
The butter of the gods. What is it? Why do we have it? What's the purpose? What can we put it in? And why is there so much butter here? Butter of the gods is essentially a seasoned butter. Not just any seasoning though. We're going to use some bone marrow. And the purpose of it is to have a nice butter that you can cook into anything that you want a little more seasoning. We've put it in eggs, we've put it on pork chops, we've put it on steaks, we've buttered toast with it. Believe it or not, an everything bagel with some butter of the gods, to die for. It's time to talk ingredients. What we got on the table here is some salted butter, black pepper, olive oil, and cow femur. What you want to do, a little pregame for this whole meal, is to soak the cow femurs overnight. You're going to soak them in salt and apple cider vinegar, and the purpose is to bloodlet them. You'll notice when you purchase these, they don't look so neutral in color. They will be much more pink. That's a lot of the blood. It will actually tint your butter, so that's the reason that's important. But now that we got that done last night, today what we're going to do is coat it in olive oil. Shake a bunch of black pepper all over it, making sure we get a good bunch on the ends there. And then we're going to throw it into our preferred cooking device set at 350 degrees for between 45 minutes to an hour. The reason that's a variable is because not all bones are created equal. What you'll be looking for is for the marrow inside here to start looking very, very gummy, very soft, and it'll actually be pulling away from the bone. At that point, you're going to take your bones out. You're going to set them to the side. You're going to put probably a little bit more pepper to taste into your giant pile of salted room temperature butter. Dig out the marrow, mix it all up, put it in your molds, put it in your jars, wherever you want to put it in, and then you're going to refrigerate it or freeze it depending on how long you plan on storing it. You will happen to notice that there is a whole lot of butter in the intro and a whole lot of bones right here. That's because we're doing a very large bulk batch of this. This would be way more than what you would need for a year with one family. So just take in consideration how much you actually want to make after you see how much we make, and adjust your recipe accordingly. On to the cook. And we're back. The bone marrow is now cooked. I do apologize for missing that mid shot. Today is Thanksgiving 2022, and well, we were busy with the rest of the meal. But the bone marrow is all done, and what we got here is some pepper, onion powder, minced garlic. Here's the rest of the bone marrow already pushed out of the bones. 2 pounds of butter. Right in here, I have the other 6 pounds of butter. So what we have is 8 bones, 8 pounds of butter. The ratio doesn't necessarily have to be that. It worked out because we got these 12-inch femurs, and it's what worked out for us. So what I'm going to show you here is how we get out one of these piles of bone marrow. I am going to note that this is not the most appetizing thing in the world, but once it mixes into the butter, it looks just fine. So you come in here with a spoon, kind of break it out a little bit, start working your way through, mincing it, kind of pushing it through, and wiggling it around. You want to make sure you get all that goodness out of here into there. Again, not the most appetizing as it sits, but is it ever really about how the cook goes in the middle? No, it's about how the cook comes out, right?
You don't want
there we go. And we got this out. Scrape that bottom just a little bit more. Excellent. So we'll put that bone pile right back there. I'm going to take this, give it a little stir, just to get it kind of mixed up. I know it looks oily and separated, but what that is some of the bone marrow that actually liquefied. So in this pile here, we're going to go ahead and add in the rest of the bone marrow. There we go. We'll put in our pepper. Onion powder. and the garlic. Go ahead and take a look at the link below to our blog, which will have the recipe on this. We're going to try and use nice even numbers so you can break it down based on what you got. And last but not least, everybody's favorite thing, 2 pounds of butter. And once this is all in here, you can use a blender if you want, but what we found is it's best just to get your hands in there and mix this around. So here we have it, the butter of the gods. You're gonna see it's a little chunky, and that's okay. If you wanted to get away from the chunks, what you could do is take it, put it in a blender, blend it up. Essentially what it is just kind of chunks of marrow and the garlic just sitting in there. It really is okay. But if you're worried about presentation and you want the perfectly smooth butter, you would have to put it in a blender. After adding the marrow, it did kind of brown the butter a little bit. Nothing bad, as you see, still looks like butter, just it is a little browner. What you can see here is about half of what we canned out of that. So we really have about double this. These are 4-ounce mason jars. So the 8 pounds of butter really does make a whole lot of butter. The most important part about this is there are no preservatives. This is the rawest butter you can get. If you put it in the refrigerator, it'll give you about 5 whole days. In the freezer, you'll get 6 months tops. So you want to keep your batches kind of small. Better to have a fresher product than it is to have something that you could use for 2 years. Anyways, that's about all the advice I have on the butter of the gods. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. You guys mean the world to us. Happy Thanksgiving. Wayfinder BBQ.